Each famous fashion designer in the entire history of fashion did not start out on top. It took them many years and a lot of hard work to make it where they are today or ended up. The lives of each designer has influenced what they have become in the industry, whether it be a story of rags to riches or just a lifelong dream fulfilled. Designers like DeBoer, Chanel, Hilfiger, Simmons, and Manolo have their paths to thanks for their success in some way. These are the lives of 5 of the greatest fashion designers that made the fashion industry what it is today. Coco Chanel was born in southern France with the birth name of Gabrielle Chanel. According to her biography by Axel Madden, she began working with a seamstress to make money and support herself. In 1916, Chanel introduced the first jersey women's suit. It was unlike anything the women of that time were wearing. She took inspiration from men's clothes and had the relaxed fit that they had. She worked hard and took the criticism through the years, but soon found out that all the criticism came glory and success. Chanel is the most popular name in fashion. Karl Lagerfeld is now in charge of her company and continues the tradition that Chanel started of ready-to-wear women's fashion. She redefined what a modern woman should look like and truly changed the world of fashion into the world we know it as today. Chanel said, "Fashion is not something that exists only in dresses. Fashion is in the sky, in the street. Fashion has to do with ideas, the way we live, and what is happening." Christian Dior was another great fashion designer who changed the fashion industry. Dior was born into a wealthy family who paid for his schooling in political science. Where his family had a dream for him to be a diplomat, he had a dream to be an artist. He finally had the chance to open his own art gallery, but the dream soon died with the coming of World War II. Dior was then offered a job designing clothes. He had a vision of an avant-couture clothing line that showed billowing skirts and a new-looking silhouette for women. This new look Dior created was famous instantly, and he began his own couture company. At the time of his designs, he showed women of all shapes and sizes in his clothing, proving that his look could complement anyone. During the 1950s in Paris, Dior was running the most successful haute couture house because of these new looks. Dior is still a common name in the fashion industry, and designers will forever be taking what he started and continuing it on forever. Christian Dior said, "Zest is the secret of all beauty. There is no beauty that is attractive without zest." Tommy Hilfiger was born in upstate New York to a wealthy family of 9 children. He realized his dream to be a designer very early. While he was just out of high school, he opened a store called People's Place, where he would design clothes that people could not find anywhere but still wanted. Tommy said, "I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a brand of clothing around my own attitude and my own lifestyle." After moving back to New York and studying fashion design more deeply, he introduced his first line in 1985. Tommy is still around and designing today and has since received many awards not only from the fashion world but also society for his work with the less fortunate. Kimora Lee Simmons is the main designer and owner of the clothing line Baby Fat. As she states in her book, Fabulosity, What It Is and How to Get It, she started out as a young girl who was made fun of for her height and her background. She later used that to her advantage when she became one of the top models for Chanel under Lagerfeld. After working as a model in the fashion industry, Kimora tried her hand at design. Her now ex-husband, Russell Simmons, and her started 2 lines together, Fat Farm and Baby Fat. Baby Fat is a top-selling brand in almost every department store. Kimora now has her own TV show as well and continues to grow in her success. Manolo Blahnik is a designer unlike any other. He started his company in London in the early 1970s, but prior to that, his family, like Dior's, planned on him becoming a diplomat and sent him away to college. When he knew his calling was in fashion, he moved to London and began designing men's shoes. Then, after a little time, Vogue editors began to notice his work and asked him to display his shoes in the magazine. Manolo is one of the most popular names in fashion, and especially shoes. The different thing about Manolo than any other designer is that he is entirely responsible for the designs of each and every shoe that bears his name. In conclusion, knowing the history of designers helps us to understand their designs today. Many people look up to these great designers, and knowing how hard they work to achieve their goals makes it possible for others too. For more information about these designers, visit Infomat.com, the self-described search engine for the fashion industry, for interesting bios and information about the clothing lines of each designers.